Hi, D-E-I-I-E-I-I.
I saw that one.
This is getting so weird.
Yeah.
D-E-I-E-I. I work in fraud and have recent...
Really? Shame on you.
Yeah.
Shame.
Stop frauding people.
I'm a professional
Shame.
criminal, and I have recent cases with customers falling for deep-faked ads and fraudulent credit card apps with AI-generated photos. What other tech can you see aiding criminals in the future?
Oh, dude, that. Yeah. Basically, things in that realm. We had a topic about this not that long ago, about where people did some form of AI deepfake thing for a conference call to convince someone to transfer millions and millions of dollars, and they did it. This is just going to get worse. I talked months ago about how people were, the scam was that they would target mothers and they would deepfake the daughter's voice.
In distress,
which makes it easier because you like muffle it and stuff.
Yep.
And they would ask for money or whatever else.
Ransom.
And it was working because you're playing on people's emotions and stuff like that.
And you're putting them in a
if I'm wrong,
at a cognitive disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
if I'm wrong, this horrible thing is happening and I didn't help. If I'm right, I'm out some money. So quite a bit of people are going to take the chance, which sucks.
That's why I just don't pick up my phone anymore.
Yeah, there you go.
Honestly, I get so many spam calls and just
I don't have to deal with the trolley problem if I'm not even there.
Just walk away. Turn 360 degrees around and walk away.
If you are not in my phone book, I am extremely difficult to get in touch with, and it causes legitimate problems. I miss shipments all the time. No, seriously. If I ever ordered something on Uber Eats and they just saw my number in the thing and called me instead of texting me through the app or whatever, they'd have no chance. I'd be like, I guess I'm just not getting this food.
You don't call screen? I call screen. Everything.
I don't have it.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. So I just don't answer my phone.
Yeah, I mean, that's
honestly, it's kind of liberating.
Solution.
I just.
What's that?
My phone's ringing. Yeah. Is it my wife?
Seems like someone else's.
Because she's basically the only person who ever calls me.
Do you have custom ringtones? Do you have a different ringtone if they're in your address book or not?
No, I glance.
Oh,
yeah, but I don't see if I recognize the number or anything. Actually, yeah. What percentage of my calls are my wife? I mean, it's pretty high. You know.
Yeah.
Wife, something, wife, something, vet, something, wife. Pretty much. My life.
Once you progress to a certain age, that's kind of what it becomes.
Voice calls are so boomer. Oh, you know what my phone does have though? Is it has an auto text response. So anytime someone calls me, not anytime, most of the time when someone calls me, actually, I kind of misrepresented it before. I send back an automatic, please text me. And if they don't text me, then it couldn't have been that important.
That's pretty fair.
Yep. I mean, what were they calling from, a landline?
If you're already not
Come on.
Well, if they're in distress and can't type on their phone, but if they're not in your address book and they can't text you, the chance that you really needed it is near zero.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that seems quite fair to me. Back to the scamming question. Yeah, I don't know. All the AI things are going to be absolutely horrid for scamming. It's going to be really, 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 really bad. I know.
And there's going to be such creative attack vectors. They'll get you on the phone somehow and they'll be it'll be something innocuous. They'll get you to type something or something, and then they'll use the knowing what those characters sound like to if they this would have to be quite targeted. But if somehow they manage to, get an audio feed from a security camera in your house or something like that, if they call you and tell you what characters to type, they'll use machine learning to take that audio signature, and then they'll wait for you to log into something, even if they can't see your keyboard, and they'll be able to steal passwords from you that way. There's just going to be, things are going to get actual spy movie crazy. That's a thing, by the way. Yeah. I wasn't making that up. That whole audio signatures and being able to tell what you typed, that's totally a thing. In fact, I think the researchers didn't even need a recording and knowing what you were typing. They were just able to figure it out just based on the vibrations or something like that. It's absolutely incredible. We have a video coming soon, by the way, on how easy it is to break into someone's Wi-Fi if you have the hardware for it. It's the kind of thing that I think many in our audience are already going to be aware of, but many in our audience might not be aware of just how bad it is. So if you remember Camino, have you seen any of the videos we've made about Camino's machines? Okay, they do these liquid cooled GPU servers, and they sent us over one probably about 6 months ago now that we have had various concepts for what to do with and have ultimately not executed on. And finally we settled on one. And it's good timing too, because they messaged me. They were like, are you ever doing anything with that server? And I was like, ha! I filmed the video today. It's not a sponsor.
But we would like to continue to have it.
Yeah, it's not a sponsorship or anything, but it's got like 6 4090s in it, so I'm sure they'd love to know where it is.
Yeah, safe and sound.
Anyway, we came up with a really good concept, and Tanner built the Krakenator 5000, a mobile Wi-Fi cracking monstrosity in a van, using a bunch of batteries and their server. And we didn't do it because that would be illegal. But we were able, should we have desired,
yes,
to go anywhere, find any wireless access point, and break into it in...
How fast did you guys get it down to?
Seconds.
Yeah, so you could war drive if you were like in a school district. That sounds about right. Nice. Very cool.
Pretty wild. I think
sweet.
For a, don't quote me on this because it'll be right in the video. I think for someone who uses their phone number...
Oh, yeah.
It was 4 seconds.
Yeah.
So if it's purely numeric, because each of those RTX 4090s, I think, was able to do about 2 million per second or something like that, 2 million attempts per second. And with WPA2, you don't have to be in range in order to do this either. So even if we didn't have that kind of hardware, we could steal everything that we need, go somewhere else, wait around for it to processing,
and then you got it.
And then we can come back, connect. And even a lot of tech-savvy people don't necessarily have proper protections on every shared resource on their network. Even here, almost no one that I know here uses MAC filtering. Even MAC filtering is not a perfect defense. There's all kinds of... There's so many attack vectors once someone is connected to your network. So please, for the love of all that is good, use a long Wi-Fi password with lots of characters, with lots of special characters, and with unusual deviations. If you must use dictionary words, make sure that it's not just, well, I used a capital letter for the first letter of every word, because that's a thing that people do. Try not to be predictable, please. Please. WPA3, much better. But the problem is that if your AP is not configured to reject WPA2 capable clients that do not support WPA3, then any WPA2 thing can just connect, and then it'll negotiate via WPA2, and then you can just break in with WPA2.
Yeah, it's the whole like, oh, nice, this is secured through YubiKey as its two-factor, and it also has a backup of text message authentication. SMS. It's only secure as the least secure part of it. I know multiple people who have, in the wake of all this AI stuff, moved to entirely in-person transactions for highly important things. Multiple people at this point in time, including some people that act as companies, to the point where they've made agreements with the cellular provider one seems to be harder to get. The only person, I know one person who's gotten that, but it's because they have a much smaller cellular provider, but they have an agreement where if a new SIM is issued, for instance, they have to be there in person. It has to be them in particular, and they have to provide their ID. No other scenario is allowed. They will never ship it. None of that type of stuff. I know multiple people who have agreements with their bank where if they want to withdraw a significant amount of money or wire transfer a significant amount of money or whatever over a certain threshold, it has to be them, it has to be in person, it has to be ID verified. They can't do any of it online anymore. None of it can be verified in
How
various
ironic.
ways. Yeah, we're going all the way back.
Let's go back to this. Let's bring back
All
checks.
the way back. Yeah.
Signatures. Let's go.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird that the solution is let's do all of the pre-tech things.
Well, we could combine
Let's drive to the
pre-tech and
bank
tech.
every week.
Like we could have, physical biometric security. I could have to pluck a hair out of my beard and give it to them for like analysis in order to. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to grow a beard again.
There you go.
Shoot.
Good solution.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that, like, hey, yeah, I'll do that wire transfer, but I only do wire transfers on like every second Thursday because that's when I go to the bank. Might be an actual like statement that people actually say in modern year. That's crazy.